Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience. I'm here tonight with a comparison of two really great Hifiman headphones. First, the HE-1000 Stealth and the HE-1000SE. And I haven't done my full review of either of these headphones yet, and this doesn't replace my full review. It's just kind of a bonus video along the way, and the reason I'm doing this now is because both of these headphones are on sale, and I know there's a lot of people that are interested in these headphones because they're selling for a great price right now. But people keep asking the question, how big is there a big step up between the Aria and the 1000 Stealth, or is there a big step between the 1000 Stealth and the 1000 SE? Because there is a substantial price jump with each of these, and people want to know how much better are they, is it worth the larger price? So anyway, the Stealth right now is selling for $1,399. This is normally a $2,000 headphone, and in fact, this is based on the HE-1000 V2, which was a $3,000 headphone, and it actually added stealth magnets. So basically, this is a $3,000 headphone that you can get right now for $1,399, and that explains why so many people are interested. And then the SE, or the HE-1000SE, this is normally a $3,500 headphone, and one step below the Hifiman Susvara. But anyway, this is currently on sale for $1,999, which is also a fantastic deal, and a ton of people interested in this. So anyway, I'm gonna go into I'm gonna talk about what's similar between these two headphones, and then talk about the difference, because these are both incredible headphones in my opinion, and they are very similar sounding, but they do have some differences. They're not huge differences. None of these differences are night and day differences, but there are differences, and depending on what you're looking for, it could, my job here tonight is to try to help you decide which one of these headphones is right for you, because I would say technically the 1000 SE is probably the better headphone, but to be honest, I think a lot of people would actually prefer the 1000 Stealth. So to avoid confusion, because these both do have stealth magnets, but to make this more simple going on with the video, I'll refer to the 1000 Stealth as the Stealth, and the 1000 SE as the 1000 SE, even though this does have stealth magnets, but to try to avoid confusion. So I'm going to start out first with a few specifications. The Stealth has an impedance of 32 ohms. The 1000 SE is 35 ohms. The Stealth has a sensitivity of 93 decibels at 1 milliwatt. The SE is at 96 decibels at 1 milliwatt, so a little bit higher impedance, but a little bit more sensitive, so they really work out about the same as far as neither one of these needs a whole lot of power. Yes, they both need a decent amp. I wouldn't, advise, going budget on one of these headphones, because they do definitely scale up and sound better with a good amp. Anyway, but they don't need a whole lot of power. So the only thing I would not recommend though is an OTL type tube amp. Neither one of these sounds its best with any of the OTL tube amps that I've tried. They just don't provide enough current for either one of these headphones. So a transformer coupled tube amp, that's a different story. They can work very well with these. The weight, Hifiman has this listed at 458 grams, and the SE listed at 440 grams, 18 grams less. But actually weighing them on my kitchen scale, I came in at 461 and 456, so only a 5 gram difference in the two. The Stealth comes with 2 cables. The SE comes with 3 cables, which would be your 1/4 inch, a 4-pin balanced XLR, and it also comes with a 3.5 millimeter, which I don't really see the point of, because 3.5 millimeters is usually what you use with a portable device, and I just don't really see this being used much with a portable audio device because of it being an open back and because of its size and weight. So just doesn't seem like a real good choice for a portable headphone to me. But anyway, things that these two do have in common. I did mention already they both use stealth magnets. They both have a very similar construction. And you can see it. This is all aluminum, the grill, the frame around here, the yokes, stainless steel headbands. And then you've got basically plastic ear cups, but with a wood veneer around them. And then I don't know if this is a real, it feels like suede on both of these. I'm not sure if it's real or not because the ear pads are synthetic leather, but tapered. And you can see both of these look very similar. The only difference is the SE has a little bit darker wood on it, and the SE has a black head strap compared to the brown or kind of tannish head strap on the 1000, or the 1000 Stealth. Anyway, another quality that these two both share is they both have outstanding clarity and detail. These are probably the two most detailed headphones that I have reviewed up to this point. The Hifiman Aria Stealth was right up there with anything that I had reviewed, and both of these actually out-detail the Aria Stealth by a little bit. Not a huge amount, but enough to notice. Both of these headphones have excellent extension on both ends. They both go very deep into the sub bass, and they both go very high into the treble. I'm not hearing any roll off at either end with either one of these headphones. Okay, they both have a very large sound stage, both in width and height. But one of the differences is depth, and I will talk about that in a few minutes. I'll get into the differences between these. Excuse me just a second. So, besides from a very large sound stage, these both have very pinpoint imaging, and they both have a very nice, warm, rich mid-range, and they both have beautiful female vocals. Just liquid, smooth, and they never sound harsh at all. They don't sound dry or sterile. Just nice, warm, rich, very beautiful female vocals on both of these headphones. Another thing they both share, and this is a negative, and it's probably the only negative that I'm going to come up with either of these headphones, because in my opinion, sound-wise, neither of these headphones has any weaknesses. Okay, but the one complaint I do have about both of these is they both have the typical Hifiman egg-shaped ear cups that's used on pretty much everything, all the way from the Edition XS through the Ananda, through the Aria, and up into the HE-1000 series. Anyway, they're very comfortable. Even though these headphones, I would not consider them light at 461 and 456 grams. They're kind of a middleweight headphone for a full-size open back headphone. But anyway, the one issue I have, and as you can see, because of this shape of the ear cup, they come down really low, down to the bottom of my jaw. Okay, I could adjust the head strap and raise them up higher, but I have found with the Hifiman egg-shaped ear cups, if you keep your ear up in the top up in this section, which means having them down low where your ear, top of your ear touches the ear pad here. They have a wider sound stage. The higher you move these up, if you get your ear down in the bottom part down here, you lose sound stage width and you get a really tall sound stage. But the sound stage ends up real tall and narrow like this instead of wide. So anyway, but the problem is with these riding down like this, I do have a little bit of an issue with TMJ in my job, mostly on the right side. And I kind of have to limit myself to about an hour at a time with these headphones, either one of them, and then take a break like 5 minutes. And then I can go back because I will start getting a little bit of pain in my jaw right here, right in front of my ear. And I think it's just because there's not a lot of clamping force and it's not the weight, but it's just that it goes way down here and it's just putting a little bit of pressure on there. So other than that though, I find no flaws with these headphones. They're, like I said, there's no weakness with either one of them. But so anyway, people want to know what the differences are between these two so they know which one is best for them. So that's what I'm going to try to get into now. Okay. The main difference is the tone balance on the Stealth I would consider to be slightly V-shaped. It's got a little bit, not a steep V, but a slight V where there's a little bit of boost in the bass and a little bit of boost in the treble. And not a large boost. I would say the boost in the bass is maybe 3 or 4 decibels. It's very similar to the Ananda Stealth. Or I'm sorry, not the Ananda Stealth, the Aria Stealth. Okay, just a little bit of boost in the bass, which is actually perfect in my opinion. Okay, and then it's also, it seems to have a slight boost in the treble. This headphone, the treble is a little bit on the bright side, and it might be too bright for some people. I've heard a lot of people say Hifiman headphones just have too bright of treble, and this is bright. But I will defend these headphones both that the treble is so clean and so undistorted that even though it's a little bit on the bright side, it never sounds harsh and it doesn't sound fatiguing to me. I actually love the treble on both of these, but the treble is slightly brighter on the HE-1000 Stealth than it is on the HE-1000SE. The SE, the treble is tamed down just a little bit compared to the Stealth. Okay, the bass. Both have very good extension into the sub bass, but the HE-1000 Stealth has a little more weight to both the sub bass and the bass than the SE. Like once again, I would say about 3 or 4 decibels. You would have to boost the bass on the SE to be at the same level as the bass on the Stealth. So the Stealth, if you like some weight to your bass, I would say the 1000 Stealth is probably the way to go. The HE or the 1000 SE, I would describe the tone balance as almost dead neutral. It's just very flat, very accurate. It's what I would consider a true audiophile headphone. It doesn't emphasize anything, it doesn't subtract anything. It's just a very flat, linear frequency response. And if you want the most accuracy you can get from a headphone, the 1000 SE is probably the way to go. But like I said, if you're looking for a little bit of bass boost, the Stealth version does have a little bit more weight to both the sub bass and bass. And because of the little bit of V-shape, I would describe the 1000 Stealth as more of a fun headphone, and the SE is more of a serious audiophile headphone. Okay, the Stealth version also to me sounds a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more punchy. It just has a little bit more slam to the sound, where the SE is just a little bit of a softer, more mellow, more laid back sound. And I'll be honest, the stealth version sounds a little bit more exciting, but a dynamic headphone can get a little bit fatiguing after a while, where that softer sound, if you're going to do long-term listening, if you're going to sit back and listen for hours to your headphone, that little bit softer sound of the SE, you might find a little bit more pleasant and easier to listen to for a long extended time. Okay, so far, the stealth model is sort of beating out the SE, but the SE definitely has its qualities too. And like I said earlier, there's no huge differences between either of these headphones. They're all slight differences, but they are big enough differences to be worth mentioning, and they are big enough to notice. I mean, if you just listen to one, you're not going to hear any shortcomings, but if you compare the two back and forth, you might pick one over the other as being a little bit better. So anyway, the big advantage that I'm hearing to the SE model is a deeper soundstage, more of a three-dimensional layered soundstage. Both of these headphones have exceptional width to the soundstage, and both have exceptional height, but the stealth model does not have the depth that the SE does. The SE just puts the sounds out further in front of you. It like I said, it's more of a three-dimensional sound, and I just feel more immersed in the music, more surrounded by it. Also, even though they both have really good width to the soundstage, vocals sound a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to start with a description of the soundstage of the Aria, and I did do a comparison between the Aria Stealth and the 1000 Stealth about a week ago. Okay, the Aria Stealth vocals to me, and this is most recordings, not all, there are exceptions, but most recordings with the Aria Stealth, the vocals sound like they're coming from right in the middle, really focused in the middle and right in front of my face, like this. Okay, then when I go to the HE-1000 Stealth, vocals sound wider and more wrapped around my head like this. Okay, well the difference is with the 1000 SE is they're similar to the 1000 Stealth, but instead of being right here like this, wrapped around like that, they sound like they're out further and wrap around wider. It's like a bit, instead of the, okay, Aria Stealth, vocals right here like this. HE-1000 Stealth, vocals wrapped around like this, and then 1000 SE, vocals out in a bigger, almost like the size of a basketball around my head. So it just sounds, it's a bigger, more expansive sound from the SE model. As far as overall width, they're very similar. The SE and the 1000 Stealth have similar width. They're both wider than the Aria Stealth. But the SE definitely has more depth to it and more out in front. Okay, another advantage to the SE, it has better separation. And not taking anything away from the Stealth, because the 1000 Stealth has excellent separation. I mean, separation between instruments where each instrument sounds like it's coming from a different location than the others. The difference is, okay, the 1000 Stealth, every instrument sounds like it's coming from a different place, but the 1000 SE, it just sounds like there's more space in between each of the instruments. Each instrument is a little bit more focused in its own location, and just more air or more space between each instrument. And it's hard to explain, but just, you know, I've never heard a headphone that separates everything as well as the SE. Just every instrument just has an empty space in between it and the next instrument, where I can hear that empty space in between each. They never ever blend together. I mean, compared to like, you know, I mean, you put on a cheap pair of headphones and everything's just coming from here and here and everything's just mixed together. Both of these headphones have excellent separation, but the SE model has even better separation. Okay, another place I noticed a difference between the two is the SE compared to the 1000 Stealth just sounds a little bit more natural and real to me. And I notice it more so than anywhere else with acoustic string instruments, acoustic guitars, and you know, things like anything with strings, a cello, a violin, anything like that. That's where I really notice that. And once again, the HE-1000 Stealth is excellent, but the SE is even better. I've never heard guitars, acoustic guitars, sound as real, like I'm just right there listening to it live, as well as the SE. It just makes everything, acoustic instruments and pianos. I notice it with pianos too. It just sounds a little bit more real. It's just a really incredible sound. And then the last difference that I see is the SE model just sounds like it's a little bit faster. Like it just, it transitions from one sound to the next. It just seems like it's able to do it a little bit quicker, just slightly. I mean, both are excellent, but the SE-1000 is just sounds a little bit faster, where it can go from one note to another just a little bit quicker. And and I think that's part of why it just has more of a real sound to it. But okay, bottom line, who wins? Which is the better headphone? I would say technically the SE version is the more refined, more accurate, more of an audiophile headphone, but the 1000 Stealth, it's a little more dynamic, a little more punchy, a little bit more V-shaped tone balance, a little more bass, a little more treble, and it's a little more fun. And I think, number one, it's going to depend on what kind of music you're listening to. If you're listening to rock or especially like electronic dance music or pop music, that sort of thing, the SE1 or the 1000 Stealth is probably the better headphone. If you're going to listen to classical, orchestral, jazz, that sort of thing, where a lot of bass isn't really important, then I would say the SE is probably the way to go. And I will say, though, that even though the SE definitely doesn't have the punch or the weight to the bass that the 1000 Stealth does, when I'm listening to it, I don't really miss it because there's so much more going on. There's so much, that three-dimensional soundstage just is so, it's just so great that I don't really miss that it doesn't have quite as much weight to the bass as the Stealth model does. So anyway, you know, I guess it's up to you. I mean, yeah, technically I think the SE wins out, but right now it's $700 more. But both of these headphones have incredible detail. They're both excellent headphones, and to be honest, I don't see anything else that I've reviewed so far that can compete with either of these at their current prices. You know, I mean, the SE is easily competing with headphones in the $4,000 range, and the $1,399 1000 Stealth is easily competing with headphones in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. So both fantastic deals. I don't think you can go wrong with either, and I can't see anybody not liking either one of these headphones. Unless you're just a huge bass head and need a ton of bass, then Maybe you're not going to like the SE, but that's the only reason I could find that I could think of that anyone wouldn't like these headphones. They're great, both great, and both highly recommended. And like I said, this video did not replace my full reviews. I will get those out soon, and in my full reviews I'll be comparing each of these headphones to 3 or 4 other headphones that I think are comparable. So anyway, I hope this video helped you. If it did, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And the Headphone Experience over on Facebook is up to 25.1 thousand members. Like to see you all over there. So once again, thanks for watching my video.